It was the summer of 1985. Disneyland was alive with music, laughter, and the magic that seemed to make every child's dream come true. Families walked hand in hand down Main Street, popcorn in one hand, balloons in the other. The smell of cotton candy drifted through the warm evening air. Among those happy faces were Lily and Rose Parker, 6-year-old identical twins with the same brown curls, the same bright eyes, and the same soft pink dresses their mother had lovingly ironed that morning. Their parents, Thomas and Evelyn Parker, remembered it clearly, their daughters spinning under the carousel lights, laughing so hard they could barely stand straight. The twins loved Disneyland more than anywhere else in the world. They had saved their allowance for months just to buy matching Minnie Mouse headbands. That night, just before the fireworks, the family stood near Sleeping Beauty's castle. Thomas turned away for a moment, just a moment, to buy ice cream. When he turned back, the girls were gone. At first, it was confusion. The girls must have wandered off. Maybe they'd gone toward a nearby ride or followed a parade float, but within minutes the laughter turned to panic. Security was alerted immediately. Announcements echoed through the park. Attention guests, if anyone sees two identical girls around 6 years old wearing pink dresses, please contact security. Staff spread out in every direction. Rides were stopped mid-cycle. The tunnels beneath the park, the utilidors used by staff to move unseen by guests, were searched from end to end. Nothing, not a single sign of Lily or Rose. Police arrived before midnight. Dogs were brought in. Every guest's name and photo were checked. Witnesses described seeing the girls near the carousel, talking to a man in a Disneyland maintenance jacket. But no such employee was ever identified. Days passed, then weeks. The park quietly reopened and the media frenzy died down. Without evidence, without leads, the investigation hit a wall. Thomas and Evelyn Parker never gave up. They appeared on talk shows, distributed flyers, pleaded for help. But over time, even their faces began to fade from the headlines. The world moved on. Disneyland never spoke of it again. For nearly 3 decades, the story of the missing Parker twins became something between an urban legend and a forgotten tragedy. Some old staff whispered about them during late-night shifts. Guests claimed to feel a strange chill near the carousel. Others said that sometimes, in the reflection of "It's a Small World," they saw 2 little girls holding hands just for a moment, before the lights flickered. But it was always dismissed as imagination, until 2013. During major renovations beneath Fantasyland, construction workers began clearing out a series of sealed service tunnels that hadn't been touched in years. Behind one section of concrete, they found a door, rusted shut with no record of it in any blueprint. When they finally broke through, the air that came out was stale and heavy. Inside was a small room, barely larger than a storage closet. And there, seated side by side against the far wall, were 2 small skeletons. Rusted chains hung loosely around their wrists. Shreds of pink fabric still clung to their bones. On the wall behind them, faint crayon drawings, castles, stars, and 2 little stick figure girls holding hands. The workers called the police immediately. Within hours, the entire area was sealed off. When the DNA results came back, there was no doubt. The remains belonged to Lily and Rose Parker. For a brief moment, the world remembered them. News outlets ran headlines like "Mystery of Missing Disneyland Twins Finally Solved." But the details were strange. The police never released information about who built that room, why it was sealed, or how no one found it sooner. Disneyland released a short statement expressing deep sorrow and calling it a rediscovery of a historical tragedy. Within a week, the story was buried again. Videos were taken down, news articles quietly disappeared, and park renovations continued as if nothing had ever happened. The room was sealed again, permanently. But workers who were there that day said something changed. They reported hearing faint laughter in the tunnels after dark. Some saw tiny handprints appear on the dusty walls that no one could explain. And one janitor claimed that sometimes, late at night near the carousel, he could hear 2 little voices singing, softly, the tune of "It's a Small World." People can believe what they want, but the fact remains. 2 children disappeared in a place built on happiness and imagination, and no one ever answered why. Maybe the twins were taken by someone who knew the tunnels. Maybe they got lost and never found their way out. Or maybe there's something darker beneath the park that no one's ever dared to uncover.